Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Pandyam Vande Guru Paramparam अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः श्रीमेधा दक्षिणामूर्तिस्वामिने नमः ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु तेजस्विनावस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Namaste once again to all of you. So in the last class we just started the invocatory slokas and we started seeing the meaning of the first invocatory sloka, the beginning sloka of Vishnu Sahasranamam. I will once again repeat the sloka and then take it forward with the meanings. Okay. Om Shuklam Bharadharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopachantaye. So this is the first sloka which we saw in the last class, and this sloka basically is saying Dhyayet, may one meditate upon. May one meditate upon whom? That is not said in the sloka. So we can supply Vigneshwaram Dhyayet, Vignarajam Dhyayet. That Vigneshwara or Vignaraja we can supply. But for what purpose Dhyayet? Sarva Vigna Upashantaye, for the removal, for the neutralization of all the obstacles. Sarva Vignam, all obstacles, and I mentioned about 3 types of obstacles that we normally face whenever we start an endeavor. Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika and Adi Daivika. All these 3 types of obstacles we face. And in order for those obstacles not to become obstacles in our endeavor, we pray to Vignaraja or Vigneshwara. Because as I said, Vigneshwara is considered in the tradition both as the creator of obstacles and also remover of obstacles. So from both the point of view, we pray to him, please, first of all, don't create any obstacles. But because of some of my own karmas in the past or some, or one of the 3 factors which I mentioned, if any obstacles are created, hey Vigneshwara, please remove them. So this is what is the main operative meaning of this particular sloka. Other words which are there are all adjectives to this Vigneshwara which we have supplied. The first says Shuklam Bharadaram. Shukla means white. Ambaram means cloak, attire, dress. Dharam means the one who is wearing or one who is donning. So to whom we have to meditate upon? The one who is wearing a white cloth. Normally many devatas are given white clothes, Saraswati is given a white cloth. Vigneshwara is given a white cloth in our Shastra. And this is one more indication why this sloka doesn't, indicate Vishnu, because Vishnu is Pitambara. He wears a yellow cloth. If you have seen the photos of Vishnu, he will always be wearing a yellow cloth. So here, even though the word Vishnu comes in this sloka, which I will explain the meaning of that, but it doesn't refer to Vishnu is this second clue. First clue is Vishnu is not considered to be a remover of obstacles. That is the first one. He is too high in a position for that. So this sloka, is not referring to Vishnu. And second is this Shukla Ambharadaram, which means that a wearer of white clothes. So it is again not referring to Vishnu. Then Shashi Varnam. Shashi means moon. And Varnam means basically the complexion or color. Right? So the light of the moon, he is the person whose complexion is like the light of the moon. It is, the light, what we call that cool light, not scorching heat of the sun, but a moonlight is a cool. So his complexion is like a cool light of the moon. Shashi Varnam. Then Chaturbhujam. Chatur means four, Bhujam means arms, hands. The one who has got four hands. All these are all referring to Vigneshwara, description of Vigneshwara. Because whenever we meditate upon anybody or anything, we require a visualization of that object of meditation. So once we visualize a particular object, whether it can be a devata and even it can be a mantra, not necessarily a form, it can be sound also. Once we are able to bring that particular visualization of a form or a sound in our mind, then fixing our mind constantly on that particular object is what is meditation. Not allowing any other thoughts to interfere. Even if any other thoughts interfere, we just let those thoughts pass and then our focus continues to be on the object of meditation, which is called alambana, or meditation. So these descriptions which is being given is all for the purposes of our visualizing that Vigneshwara. What does he look like? So in our mind, close our eyes, visualize that Vigneshwara for the purpose of meditation. Okay. So I said, Shuklam Bharadaram, Vishnu, I left out. Vishnu. Vishnu here does not refer to the Changa Chakradhari Vishnu. Changa Chakradhari Vishnu. Vishnu here means the one who is all pervasive. It goes to the Swarupa of Vigneshwara. You remember, we said Satchitananda. So Swarupa Vigneshwara, one who is all pervasive, Veveshti, Sarvam Veveshti iti Vishnu. The one who is pervading everything is Vishnu. That is the meaning of Vishnu here. Vish Dhatu. Vish Vyapane is the Dhatu. Okay. So Vishnu. Because this particular word has caused some confusion, and many people think that this particular, because of this word, this is a prayer to Vishnu. And as I was explaining, there are at least two clues in this sloka itself which says that this does not refer to Bhagavan Vishnu, but this is referring to Vigneshwara, the remover of obstacles. Right. And because of that reason, that this is actually referring to Vigneshwara, many people in the Vaishnava Sampradaya don't actually chant this prayer. They have a separate prayer, achieved for the same purpose, which we will come next. But they don't chant the Shuklam Bharadaram because they understand that this is Vigneshwara, and Vaishnava Sampradaya doesn't consider Vigneshwara as the remover of obstacles. They have got Vishwaksena as a remover of obstacles, so they pray to Vishwaksena. Okay. This is the Shaivite Sampradaya prayer. So Vishnu, Shuklam Bharadaram, Vishnu, Shashi Varnam, I have already explained. Chaturbhujam, the one who has got 4 hands. One hand has got a pasham, another has got an angusham, and the third one may have a modakam, and the fourth one may be a abhaya data, right? Abhaya pradhanam, fourth hand. So this is the Chaturbhujam, and different deities have got 4 hands. They have got different hands. We will not go into that. So he is Chaturbhujam, and he is Prasanna Vadanam. Prasanna Vadanam. Vadanam means a face. Prasanna means pleasing, smiling. Right? He has got a face which is very, very pleasant. That is why, many children, they like, two gods are favorite for children. One is elephant god, Vigneshwara, and another is Hanumanji. Somehow, because they are unusual, the children take a liking to them. And children like anything which is smiling. You smile to your children, it will smile. It will not frown. So, this is an indication that this God is a Prasanna Vadanam, right? And Prasanna Vadanam, why? Who can always be pleasant faced and very happy in his life? The one who is Purna, one who feels that I am complete. I don't lack anything in my life. Isn't it? All our difficulties, all our sorrows and miseries are all because we always find there is something lacking in our life. And our effort endeavor is to achieve that what is lacking, to come, fulfill that gap. And we go through all the struggles in this world. But the one who knows I am complete in all respects, I don't need anything more than what I have got everything that I want. He will always be Prasanna Vadanam. Like some Mahatmas are there, they are always Prasanna. Yeah. So even Dakshinamurti also is a complete, he is the one who is Purnam, Purna Swarupam. That's why Swatma Ramam Mudita Vadanam. Mudita Vadanam also same meaning, Prasanna Vadanam. Right. So this Lord Ganesha, he is Purna. He doesn't lack anything, not limited. He is all pervasive. That Lord Ganesha, one should meditate for removal of obstacles. All the 3 types of obstacles. So we have covered all the words. Viklam Vishnu, Shashivarnam, Bhujam, Prasannavadanam, Dhyayet, Sarva Vigna Upashantaye. So this is the first this thing, Vigneshwara Vandanam, you can call prayer to Lord Vigneshwara for removal of 3 types of obstacles: Adhyatmika, Adi Bhautika, and Adi Daivika obstacles. Now the second Mangala Sloka we go to, which is a Vishwaksena Vandanam. Okay. I will chant, and those who can chant along with me, muting their mics rather. And then I will explain the meaning. Yasya dvirada vaktrabhyah parishadhyah parashatam vignam nignandi satatam vishwaksenam tamashraye. This sloka in some of the textbooks is not found. But in some textbooks, both Shuklam Bharadaram and this sloka both are available. Right. So since we are learning, from different angles, as I said earlier, was a Shaivite tradition. Now this is Vaishnavite tradition. Same purpose, removal of obstacles. Right. So here the operative word is Tamashraye. Tam Ashraye. In him we seek refuge, or may you seek refuge in him. Tamashraye. In whom? Yasya Virada Vakradhyaha. Sanskrit should replace Yasya with Yam. Because tam is used. Tam is a correlative pronoun, so we have to use a relative pronoun. So it will become yam, yam and tam. They are the relative and correlative pronouns. So tamashraye, yasya, whose, dvirada vaktradhyaha, whose dvirada vaktradhyaha means they, one who has battalions starting from elephant-faced battalions. Dvirada vaktra, vaktra means face. Dvirada means two tusks, two teeth, tusks. Dvirada. So Dvirada vaktra means a elephant-faced. So Adipada, Dvirada Vaktradhyaha means Dvidara, sorry, Dvirada Vaktra Adihi. So this Adipada referring to the other three types of battalions. There are 4 battalions of Vishwasena. I will explain it a little later. Which are the 4 battalions, right? So, who also has Parishadhyaha Parashatam. Parashatam means beyond 100, means basically countless. Parishadhyaha means a retinue of army. A huge army, countless number of soldiers in that army. Parishadhyaha Parashatam. And for what purpose one should seek refuge? Vignam nignanti, for the purpose of removal of obstacles, of vignas. Vigna means obstacle. Nignanti means he removes. Because he removes all the obstacles, may one seek refuge in him. In whom? Vishwaksenam. So, may one seek refuge in Vishwaksena, who has an army consisting of 4 battalions, starting from Dvirada Vaktraha and having countless soldiers in his army, and this refuge we are seeking for the purpose of removal of all the obstacles that we may face while studying this Vishnu Sahasranamam. That is what is the meaning, right? So as I told you, this Dvirada Vaktra means face, and Dvirada I told you means an elephant. Dvirada Vaktra, an elephant faced, right? And here this Vishwaksena is a reference to the commander-in-chief of the army of Mahavishnu. Because we must be careful. There is a 14th Nama, Vishwaksenam comes, Vishnu is also referred to as Vishwaksena in the Vishnu Sahasranamam. But that meaning, I will explain when we come to that. That meaning we cannot take here, because here it says the one who has got an army which is four battalions starting with elephant-faced army. So that is not a reference to Vishnu, but that is a reference to Vishwaksena. So that is why this is not again a Vishnu Vandanam, but it is Vishwaksena Vandanam. So the chief, this Vishwaksena, has got 4 armies, and their names are Gajavaktra, Jayatsena, Harivaktra, and Kala Prakriti. These are the 4 armies, 4 battalions. Those who are from Vaishnavi tradition may know these details. So this Vishwaksena is the commander-in-chief of these 4 armies and countless number of soldiers which are there in his army. Right. So this Gajavaktra means what? Elephant faced. That is what is referred to in this shloka as Dvirada Vaktraha. That's how we have to understand. Right. So he has got these 4 groups and they have got a big army. And Parishadya Parashatam, it says the Parishadya is the name of that army. That means the Parishadya means they are soldiers. Parashatam, the countless soldiers. Right? Army of countless soldiers. And commander-in-chief is Vishwaksena, whose master is Mahavishnu. So this is a army of Mahavishnu only, but commander-in-chief is Vishwaksena. Because he is the operative person, so we have to pray to him to save us from all the obstacles. Right? And when we should seek the refuge, it says Satatam, always. Isn't it? What does he say? It says Vignam Nigdanti Satatam. Sorry, Vignam Nigdanti Satatam. He always removes the obstacles. He always removes the obstacles. So that is why we must seek refuge in him. Right? So my salutations to that Vishwaksena. Tam Vishwaksenam Ashraye. I seek refuge and seek the protection of that Vishwaksena. And interestingly, this Vishwaksena also resembles Ganesha's face only. Both have got elephant face. So there is a possibility of a confusion. But we must remember one thing. Ganesha is represented in the tradition as Ekadanda, having 1 tusk. Whereas Vishwaksena is a Dvivaktra. Dvirada Vaktram having 2 tusks. That's the difference. In fact, many of you, if you go to Vaishnava temples, including Tirupati and all, you can see the idol of Vishwaksena being there. You can see these idols. And as I told that, people from Vaishnava tradition know these details. Right? So these are the 2 starting slokas which are basically praying for removal of all our obstacles which may come. Because as I told in the last class, whenever we start something good, something noble, you can expect obstacles. That is the nature of this world, nature of people, nature of the entire Prakriti. You will face obstacles. Rakshasas are waiting. When this fellow is going to start something, so I will put some smoke into his wheels. So for that, we start with a very reverential attitude. We start with these prayers. Okay. So we have done Vigneshwara Vandanam and also Vishwaksena Vandanam. This we have done. So again, let us pray to both these gods that what endeavor we have now started to learn the Vishnu Sahasranama slokas, the meanings of that. Let this endeavor, it may go for quite a significant period of time. Let this be without any obstacles, and let us all learn this Vishnu Sahasranamam completely, till the end, without any obstacles. So with this prayer, we will go for. The next 2 slokas are Veda Vyasa Vandana. Okay. Prayer to Veda Vyasa. Because Veda Vyasa is the one who has given Vishnu Sahasranama to us, isn't it? He's the author of Vishnu Sahasranama. He wrote Mahabharata and wrote Vishnu Sahasranama within Mahabharata. So we have to pray to the author. It is very, very important, isn't it? So we will read, I will read. and you can follow. Vyasam vasishtanaptaram shaktev pautramakalmasham parasharatmajam vande shukatatam taponidhim. This sloka has to be read with the next sloka because both are Vyasa Vandana, as I told you. So here in this sloka, what is saying? Vande. Vande means salutations to. Salutations to who? Vyasam. First word, Vyasam. So, salutations to Vyasa. Now, when you say salutation to Vyasa, there is a possibility that there are a number of Vyasas. Isn't it? Number of people will have the name Vyasa. So, which Vyasa are you referring to? The rest of the words are identification of that Vyasa. Who is that Vyasa? That Vyasa is Vasishta Naptaram. Naptaram means the great grandson. The great grandson of the famous Rishi Vasishta. Vasishta Naptaram. De Shaktehe Pautram. Pautram means grandson. The great Maharishi Shakti, his grandson is this Vyasa. So, great grandson of Vasishta, grandson of Shakti, and Parasharatmajam. Atmajam means the son. Son of whom? Parashara. Parashara Muni. Parashara Rishi's son. See how the lineage is traced. But those of you who know Abhivade, we do the same thing. You know, three generations, we take the name. Three generations of Rishis rather. We take the name when we say Abhivade. So similarly here, the same kind of introduction, who this Vyasa is, he is Vasishta Naptaram, the great grandson of Vasishta Rishi. Then Shakte Pautram, the grandson of sage Shakti. Then Parasharat Majam, the son of Parashara Rishi. And then there is one more beautiful qualification, Shukatatam. He is the father of Shuka Muni. Shuka Muni is considered in the tradition to be the, what you can say, a born Mahatma. There are so many stories about Shuka Muni, Shuka Rishi. He was much more learned than even Vyasa himself. But he was a Brahmagyani. So he is the father of that Shuka, very well known in the scriptures. So this is how the Vyasa is introduced, that he is, great grandfather, and also whose son is Shuka. Is such a exalted personality is this Vyasa. And then it says, Akalmasham, the quality of Vyasa is now being described. Akalmasham, two qualities are being described. One is Akalmasham. Kalmasham means impure. Akalmasham means pure. That Vyasa who is pure. Pure in what sense? In all senses he is pure. Physical body, mind, intellect, everything is pure. That Vyasa we are referring to. Okay. And he has got a very broad outlook. If he did not have this broad outlook, he would not have worked so much to classify or codify the Vedas into 4 Vedas. write the Puranas and give it to the humanity. So much intellectual capability should be there, isn't it? That is why it is said here, Taponidhim. Taponidhim means what? He is the abode of tapas. He is the embodiment of tapas. Nidhim means treasure. Full of tapas only. Treasure chest of tapas. His whole life will be tapas only. In fact, our life also will be tapas only if we follow a Vedic lifestyle. We have gone far away from that. So, to such a Vyasa, my vandanam, my salutations. So, in this sloka, the rich lineage or heritage of Vyasa was described, and also two qualities of being akalmasham and taponidhim. These two qualities of Vyasa were described. Now, in the next sloka, it's a continuity of this previous sloka. I will read it and then I will explain. Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahma Nidhaye Vasishtaya Namo Namaha. This is another one more sloka which is further glorifying Vyasa Maharishi, Vyasa Muni. Okay. Namo Vai. Namo Vai means salutations indeed. To whom salutations? Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya. Vyasa, who is in the form of Vishnu. And Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave. To Vishnu, who is in the Rupa, in the form of Vyasa. So basically the word Vyasa means the one who has preserved the Vedas. In fact, one who has actually classified the Vedas and preserved the Vedas, he is a Vyasa. Right? That's why it's called Veda Vyasa. His original name was Krishna Dvaipayana. Krishna means dark. Dvaipanaya means the one who was born in an island. So because of his contribution by discovering a method to preserve the Vedas, as I explained, through classification into 4 Vedas, and then giving each Veda, further dividing each Veda into different branches, and giving each of those branches to one family for continued preservation. Because he foresaw that these Vedas are going to be, a very big casualty during Kali Yuga. But Vedas have to be preserved for the benefit of humanity, because they are the only one who are containing, which contains all the secret code for the progress of humanity, progress of the society, everything. There's a complete roadmap is there. So they have to be preserved for the benefit of humanity. So he devised a methodology or a system through which this can be done. He foresaw that all these Veda practices, people following and all will, as Kali Yuga progresses, that is this all will fall by the wayside. He knew that. But then, because of his, what you can say, taponidhim, tapas, and also because of purity of his nature, he wanted to help the humanity by preserving or forming or coming up with a system to preserve the Vedas. That is why he is called Veda Vyasa. That's how we know him, Veda Vyasa. He had another name called Badarayana, because he stayed in Badari Ashram in Badrinath for a long time, and he wrote texts like Brahma Sutra and all that sitting in Badari Ashram. So, because of his association with this Badrika Ashram, he is also called Badarayana. So this is you all know where is Badrinath in the Himalayas, right? So there is a Vedavyasa one name, Krishna Dvaipayana one name, Badarayana is another name. All these are all names of Vedavyasa, right? And as I was telling you, originally there was only one body of knowledge called Vedas before Vedavyasa's times. It's a huge body of knowledge, but then everybody learned everything. That was the vastness of their intellectual capacity, and they used to memorize it. The entire Veda mantra they used to memorize. Of course, some people would be specialized in certain kind of rituals and certain kind of practices, but everybody had to learn everything. And as I was telling you just now, that towards the end of the Dwapara Yuga, Veda Kali Yuga was going to come. And Vedavyasa had the foresight to see what are all going to happen in Kali Yuga. And in fact, he has described everything very graphically in Bhagavata Purana. Those of you who know Bhagavata Puranam know all Kali Lakshanas he has described there. So he knew what is going to happen. In fact, if you read Bhagavata Puranam and see what is going on now, you will see how, what you can say, foresighted he was. And mind you, we are only in the Pratama Padha of Kali Yuga. The total period of Kali Yuga is 4,32,000 years. And we have covered only about 5,000 odd years. And that is the condition now. We can see what is happening in the world. Everywhere, Corona, everything is happening, right? You can imagine what will happen in the next 4,27,000 years if this trend continues. So one more reason for us to put an end to this rebirth. We don't want to be born again in this Kali Yuga. Okay. So that is why Vedanta, gives a methodology how to escape this rebirth. We will come to that later when we are talking about Janma Samsara Bandhanat Muchyate. We will discuss that, right? So what he did was he actually classified these Vedas into 4 parts. And what was the basis of classification? In fact, not 4 parts. He classified into 3 parts. The 4th part was added later. The basis of classification was the original Veda mantras contain 3 types of mantras. A set of mantras were there which were set to poetic, meter, like poetry. So they were in verse forms, mantras. Then there were certain set of mantras which were in prose form. Then there were certain mantras which were in musical form, set to certain musical notes. So what Vedavyasa did, that instead of learning everybody learning everything, he said, let all those verses which are in a poetry form or in a metric, form, metric meter, he compiled them and called them Rig Veda. Then all the mantras which were there in prose form, he compiled them and called them Yajur Veda. Then all the mantras which were there in the musical, set to musical notations, he compiled them and called it Sama Veda. So that is why Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, these 3 Vedas he compiled. Then there were certain more mantras which were there, which were not directly related to these 3 types of mantras. Because mind you, these are all Karma Kanda we are talking, Karma Kanda and also Jnana Kanda, because they are Upanishads also in every Veda. So the remaining part, later on, 2 rishis called Atreya Rishi and Angirasa Rishi. Not sorry, Atharva Rishi and Angirasa Rishi. They compiled the remaining mantras and gave it Atharva Veda. The Atharva Veda name comes from Atharva Rishi. So that is how we have got the 4 Vedas now. And when Veda Vyasa divided the Rig Veda and all that, each Veda he divided, further subdivided into branches. And then those people who were belonging to those branches, those people were given the responsibility to preserve these Vedas through the Yuga cycle, end of the Yuga cycle, and also the next cycle of the Kali Yuga. So that is how, even today, if you go to UP and all that, we have got, this Dvivedi, Trivedi, Chaturvedi, and all. These names have all come from the family tradition, their lineage. Some people had actually studied all the 4 Vedas, so they become Chaturvedi. So like that, we can identify the system which was devised by Veda Vyasa. So that is why he is called a Veda Vyasa. Vyasa means the person who has classified and defined this system, right? And then this Veda Vyasa here is described that he is not different from Vishnu. He is Vishnu incarnate. In fact, that is what in the tradition believes, that Veda Vyasa was nothing but an avatar of Vishnu. Because Vishnu is the one, he is the Paramatma who has given the Vedas. Now, Paramatma knows everything. He is a Trikala Jnani. He knows what has happened before, he knows what is happening now, and he knows what is going to happen in future. And he is the person who has actually, given the Vedas. So will he not be, he is the creator of the Vedas. So naturally, that Paramatma, Vishnu, will be having a concern that in Kali Yuga, these Vedas will be destroyed. So what I should do, I should now create a system for preservation of these Vedas. So let me be born as Veda Vyasa and do it. This is one way we can, in a romantic way, we can understand Veda Vyasa is not different from Vishnu. And because of that, Vishnu is not different from Veda Vyasa. He is only Avatara. Veda Vyasa is Avatara. Like we say, Rama is not different from Vishnu. Krishna is not different from Vishnu, because Rama, Krishna is avatars of Vishnu only. Similarly, Veda Vyasa also we can understand that he is an avatar of Vishnu. And to that Veda Vyasa, our Vandanam, our salutation. This is how we have to understand this sloka. And in fact, any amount of glorification of Veda Vyasa is actually understatement. There is a very beautiful sloka in our scriptures. It's not in Vishnu Sahasranamam. It says, Achatur Vadano Brahma Dvibahu Raparo Harihi Apala Lochana Shambhuhu Bhagavan Badarayana. This is how Badarayana, Veda Vyasa, is described. In fact, here this sloka in this Vishnu Sahasranama talks only about Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya and Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave. But see this sloka, what is the beauty here? It says, Bhagavan Badarayana is Achatur Vadano Brahma. He is Brahmaji without the 4 faces. Right? Then Dvibahu Aparo Harihi. He is Vishnu with 2 hands. Dvibahu. Because the original Vishnu has got 4 hands. But this Veda Vyasa is Vishnu. He is Brahma without 4 heads. He is Vishnu with just 2 hands. And Apala Lochana Shambhuhu. He is Shiva without the 3rd eye. That is Veda Vyasa. So he is compared in the scriptures to all 3, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. What is that? Nothing but Paramatma, Parameshwara. That Veda Vyasa has given us the revised version, revised edition of these Vedas. So does it not become a responsibility for us to learn those Vedas and also try to preserve those Vedas as much as possible, as much as our ability goes. That is the significance of, this prayer to Vedavyasa, right? And this Veda, now we come back to Sahasranamam. And this Vedavyasa is described as Brahmanidhaye. Here Brahma means, refers to the Vedas, right? And Nidhi means treasure. So he is basically, again the explanation is, he is a treasure of all the Vedas. Everything he knows about Vedas, right? Elsewhere actually in the Bhagavad Gita Dhyana Shlokas which are there, he is referred to as Vishala Buddhehe. Vishala Buddhehe means whose intellect is very vast. Naturally, one has to have a very vast intellect if one has to compile the Vedas. We can't actually memorize one Vishnu Sahasranama in our one whole life. Many of us, some of us can do it, but many people cannot memorize even Vishnu Sahasranama. And then imagine Vedavyasa's intellect, vastness of his intellect. All Vedas he knows, and then he has compiled them, right? Brahma Sutra he has compiled. Brahma Sutra, 550 odd sutras. Entire Upanishads. Complete logical analysis of Upanishads. Whatever the message of the Upanishads are, they are fully analyzed logically. Because many things which are said in our Shastras may appear to defy logic. But if you study Brahma Sutra, you will understand the logic behind all this, whatever is said in the Vedas, or especially in the Upanishad, the Brahma Vidya part of it, Jnana Yoga part of it. Okay. So, he not only had the knowledge of all the Vaidika Vidya, in the sense of Vedas and all that, he also had a very good knowledge of the Laukika Vidya. In fact, Mahabharatam itself is that only, full of Laukika, the actual living, what all issues, problems will come, relationship problems, situational problems, problems to threat to life. So many things, we all face. I mean, not everybody faces all problems. Different people will face different problems. Everything is there in Mahabharata. He has dealt with all those things, and also how to come out of it, how to deal with those problems. And the first lesson we have to learn is that such problems will be existing, and we cannot, wish away those problems. We have to deal with the problems. So all that dharma and all that, they're all coming. And that's why Vishnu Sahasranamam is also a part of that Mahabharata. So his knowledge was vast, not only, in one area of Vaidika, Vedas and all, but also in the worldly affairs, Laukika Vidya, he had full knowledge. This Vyasa, right? In fact, it is said that Vyasa Uchishtam Jagatrayam. Says there is nothing in the three worlds, that is Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha, three worlds, which has not been spoken of by Vyasacharya, either in the Mahabharata or in the 18 Puranas. He has spoken about all the things which are there in the three worlds. And in fact, it is also said that there is nothing in the world which is not there in the Mahabharata. So that is why he is being, referred to here as Brahmanidhi, treasure trove of all the Vedas, all knowledge rather. And Vasishtaya. Vasishtaya, again we have seen Vasishta Naptaram. This is another Sanskrit expression. Vasishtaya means the one who belongs to the lineage of Vasishta, Vasishta Rishi. So he is called Vasishta. Vasishta Patyam Kumar Vasishta. That is a Tadvita Patyam. Okay. Namo Namaha. My salutations to him. Again and again. Namo Namaha. Repeatedly salutations to that great Vyasa Maharishi. That's why, at least one day in a year, We all celebrate Guru Purnima as Vyasa Purnima. We must celebrate, we must be thankful. All spiritual seekers, all those people who are interested in our culture, in our heritage, in our tradition, should go to Vyasa Maharishi for the great contribution that he has done. We are all, today I am able to tell you, you are able to listen to me only because of Vyasa Maharishi and the Guru Parampara which has come down from Vyasa Maharishi, of which Adi Shankara is one of the important links, big links, Adi Shankara. So this we must, pray to Vyasa Maharishi again and again. That is what this sloka says, right? Now the next sloka, the fifth one, I will read. Avikaraya Shuddhaya Nityaya Paramatmane Sadaika Rupa Rupaya Vishnave Sarvajishnave. So we have seen Vigneshwara Vandanam, we have seen Vishwaksena Vandanam, and we have also seen Vyasa Vandanam. Now Vishnu Vandanam is being talked about. Okay. And here the Swarupa of Vishnu is described. The original nature of Vishnu. Not the Vishnu we see in the photo or the idols. The original nature. What it says? Avikaraya. Avikaraya means changeless, modificationless. Remember, just to recall Satchit Ananda. Sat, always existing, never changes. The original pure existence never changes. Avikaraya. Avikara means change. Avikara means that is changeless. Shuddhaya, pure. That's why we say pure existence, pure consciousness, pure joy. Original nature of Vishnu, original nature of Paramatma. Any devata you take, the original nature of all devatas is this only. All devatas, original nature. Why devatas? As I told you, you and me, our original nature also is this only. The only difference is we don't know that. That's all. We are also Avikara. We are also Shuddha. But because of misconception, ignorance, we take ourselves to be impure and changing and all. Okay. Nityaya, eternal, timeless. Existing in all three periods, past, present and future. Limitless, both in terms of time and space. So Nityaya, Paramatmane, the most exalted principle of creation, Atma. Atma is what? This is Parama Atma, the most exalted principle. In fact, the Creator Himself. Paramatmane, Creator Himself. The very embodiment of creation, you can say. Sadaika Rupa Rupaya, Sada Eka Rupa Rupaya, always of the same nature. Of course, already we said that Avikaraya. Avikaraya can be taken as also that if there is a form, that the form will not change. Of course, he doesn't have a form. It's a formless God. Our Paramatma is formless only. Nirguna Brahman. Avikaraya. So the same thing here. Sadha Eka Rupa Rupaya, always of the same nature. Vishnave, the one who is all pervading. We have already seen Vishnu, right? The same thing is used here. Vishnave, the one who is all pervading. Sarva Jishnave. Jishnu means the one who gives victory. Jaya Pradhana. Jishnu. So the one who gives victory to everyone. This is the word meaning of this this sloka. And this sloka gives you a very important message. In our life, we have to first be victorious over ourselves. That is very, very important. And victorious over ourselves means what? We have to win over our enemies. And who are our enemies? All this raga, dvesha, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mata, matsarya, these are our enemies. These enemies are the ones which cause us all sorts of problems, miseries in our life, and prevents us from enjoying our life or being joyful continuously. Isn't it? If we think a little bit, introspect a little bit, we will understand this. Raga, desire, and that too a very obsessive desire for something, will always end up in misery and sorrow and grief. Take it for granted. This is a time-tested fact. When you are obsessive about anything in your life in terms of a desire, eventually you will end up with sorrow only because of that only, because of that desire. So this raga, which is a desire, which is what you can call a binding desire, is the first enemy. Dvesha, hatred, another enemy. So we have to first win over ourselves, and for that victory, first what we have to do, we have to pray. Please give me victory. Pray to whom? To Paramatmane, who is Avikaraya, Shuddhaya, Nityaya, Paramatmane, Sadega Rupa, Rupaya, that Vishnu who is Sarva Vyapi, who is everywhere. To that Vishnu, you have to pray. That is what it is said here, right? And we can successfully win over. Basically, when I am talking about victory, I am talking about winning over our emotional turmoils, right? How we control our emotions, how we handle our emotions, that actually will determine our real success in life. We can't afford to let go the emotions like wild horses. Let you go wherever you are. It will only mean destruction. So for that, we are seeking the Bhagavan's blessings rather, right? So Vishnave, Sarva Jishnave, Namo Namaha. I am just giving only the word meanings here. What are all the implied meanings and all that? They will all be covered in the Vishnu Sahasranamam itself, because all these words will all get repeated there, and there we will discuss more details about the implied meanings. Okay. So now our time is up, so we'll stop here, and the next one we will continue in the next class. I will say the prayers, and if there are any questions, you can ask. Okay. Om Purnamadav
Purnamidam Purnam Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameshishyade Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Hari Om.
Thank you all once again.
Thank you.
Any questions I can take?
Namaskaram Guruji, this is Shankar from Pune. Namaskaram Guruji.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Guruji. Thank you.
Namaskaram, Guruji.
Thank you, Mama.
Oh, Rajani is there.
Excellent.
Rajani has got more questions today.
Yes, I got Mama.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like when youngsters ask questions. I like it very much because they're interested in learning, rather, right? So, actually speaking, all number of youngsters who are there, it is better because they are the one who was going to generation, isn't it? Yes, let us start.
Yeah, pardon me if I'm asking a question which is, no intentions of questioning the scriptures or, offense to anyone. I've got...
No question scriptures consider as irrelevant. You don't need to be pardon. You as a student, you have a right to ask questions.
Thank you, Mom. So, when you mentioned about the Guru Purnima, Guru, so in the quest of searching for my spiritual Guru, I don't know, I've just started trying to understand the scriptures. So there are many spiritual leaders like Shankaracharya or Sri Ravi Shankar, or many of them. But why is there a difference of opinion even between them? So who do we go for? You know, like you have Shankaracharya, different matas. So Kanjipuram Shankaracharya, Dayananda Saraswati, Shingeri Madam. So there are different matas. And there seems to be difference of opinion on certain things between different matas. So who do you follow? So one says this, one says that, and there is always a controversy between the two matas or the people who are following one Shankaracharya. Obviously, Dayananda Saraswati, Kanjipur, there is a conflict there. So I am confused. See, the path ultimately is leading to Parameshwara or God. Then why this difference of opinion? How do we go? Who do you follow? How do you know?
Right. Good question, because a lot of people have this problem. See, first of all, we must understand one thing. Our scriptures don't talk about one way of approaching a particular concept. And as I told you, our scripture is the same concept. For example, if you take the concept of God, we start from the concept of God, giving God a human form, like Rama, Krishna. That is what is there in the lowest level in the Mahabharata and Ramayana. Children will understand only that. But as we progress, we promote that God into Devatas, which we find in Puranas and all that. Right? We have got Lakshmi Devata, we got Vishnu Purana, then Skanda Purana, so many Devatas and all that. Then when we get promoted, we come to Bhagavad Gita. We get introduced to the God without any form. Bhagavad Gita is a beautiful thing because it represents God in three forms. It represents God as a human being, Krishna being the king, Arjuna's friend, as a human being. It represents God as a Saguna Brahman, and also it represents God as a Nirguna Brahman. Right? This is one aspect you must understand. So when you cross Bhagavad Gita and then come to Upanishads, which is the next level, you will understand God as only Nirguna Brahman. There is no Saguna Brahman at all. And in that also there are two levels. When you are talking about Veda Purva Bhaga, that is all the Karma Kanda Bhaga, there again God is Sagunam only. God has got certain qualities. But when you come to Veda Anta Bhaga, the Vedanta, which is the Upanishads, there even that form, that guna is removed. So God is seen as pure existence, pure consciousness, and pure joy. So this is the build-up, you must understand, first of all, basic fundamental thing about Hindu culture, our Indian culture, you must understand is this is the way the concept of God is presented in our entire scriptures. This you will not find it in any other religion at all. This is only our religion presents in this particular form. So this is one aspect you must understand. The second aspect is that there are various ways towards this God, various paths to understand this God as we progress. But they are only paths. They won't take you to the final destination. For example, when we are talking about Yoga Shastra, when you took the name of Sri Ravi Shankar and all, Sri Ravi Shankar teaches yoga. His entire approach is from Yoga Shastra point of view. Application of Yoga Shastra to daily life, everyday life. How we must understand all those values which are there in Yoga Shastra, right from Yama Niyama onwards. So he is specialized in one particular area, and he talks about that. You will not find Sri Ravi Shankar talking about Upanishads and all. Isn't it? He will talk generally, but his basis is Yoga Shastra. Similarly, if you take Dayanand Saraswati, you will not find him talking about Yoga Shastra. He will talk about Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita. So, if you actually understand all these things, all these scriptures and all these gurus, you will realize one fact, for which, very good understanding is required. You need to study. You will realize that all are actually talking the same thing only, but from different perspectives. That's all they are all doing. The seemingly contradiction that you are seeing is because of our lack of understanding. Because we don't understand this, the full canvas. So whenever it is like some portion we see, it is just like, the classic example I can give is the story of that 5 blind men with the elephant. Have you heard that story in your childhood?
Not sure which one you are talking, Mama.
There were 5 blind men, and there was an elephant, and they were asked to actually touch that elephant and identify the shape of that elephant. So one blind man, what he did, he actually touched the tail of the elephant and said, this elephant is like a brush. Another fellow touched the legs of the elephant and he said that the elephant looks like pillars. Another fellow, he touched the ears of the elephant. He said that this elephant actually looks like what they call, I don't know what is it called in English. In Tamil, it is called. So, big, which anybody can help me?
The sieve, Guruji.
Not sieve. Sieve is actually the one with filter. This is moram.
No, it's like the moram. Moram is also sieve.
Yeah. Villages and all, they use, the ladies, they put all these.
Yeah,
Moram in Tamil.
The husk will be removed. You
So,
say that.
all the 5 people touched different parts of the elephant, and their own understanding of the elephant was what they touched. But only a person with the eyes open can see the whole, form of the elephant. Similarly, we are all blind people. We are seeing only one side of our scriptures. And that is because no guru will teach you everything. Every guru will teach you what he will discover as your interest in that particular area. So if you want to study about Upanishads, no point in going to Sri Ravi Shankar or for that matter, even Jaggi Vasudev and all that, those gurus. They are also guru. Jaggi Vasudev also yoga guru. But if you want to study Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, you must go to gurus like Chinmayananda or Swami Dayanand Saraswati or Swami Paramatma. That is their subject. But the question is, what is the purpose of your pursuit? What are you trying to find in this understanding? What is the goal? That first you must define. And our scriptures say that a human being has got 4 goals. The Chaturvida Purushartha it talks about. Artha, Kama, Dharma and Moksha. And if Moksha is the goal, final goal, scriptures say that the final goal is Moksha. That you can get it only through the study of the Upanishads, through Jnana Kanda. Even Karma Kanda will not give you moksha. So it's a very involved kind of a thing. You are in a very, initial stage of this and you have got very legitimate questions. But then you have to continue this study and this understanding. And it does not, if your goal is moksha, then Yoga Shastra is not going to give you moksha. They may claim it gives moksha, but what is the definition of moksha? You ask them, they can't. Yoga Shastra doesn't define moksha, it only defines samadhi. And samadhi is not a permanent state. Whereas moksha is a permanent stage. Moksha is eternal. So there are so many aspects to learn. It's not a one book or one non-detailed kind of a thing. You know, our culture is very, very vast, and so many things are there to learn. I'm sure I will not, in this small, for a few minutes, I won't be able to explain everything. For which you must actually start joining, you know, or having listened, like, you know, Tattva Bodha, a lot of people have joined Tattva Bodha classes. There I will be I deal with little more detail of all these things, the structure of our, you know, scriptures, what are these Purusharthas and what is important, what is the Varnashrama Dharma, all those details I deal with there because they are relevant for Vedanta pursuit. That is Vedanta. So this is, you know, it's very difficult to tell you whole thing, you know, why different. There is actually no difference. All are paths. People say, some of the gurus, you know, because of their own lack of understanding, they will say that there are 4 paths to moksha. There is a bhakti yoga, there is a karma yoga, there is a jnana yoga, and there is also a raja yoga. There are 4 paths. All confusion. From where they get this idea, God alone knows. Because the scriptures don't talk about 4 paths to moksha. Purusha Suktam says there is only one road to moksha. You should read the Vedas. Then you will understand that what is being talked about. But then people don't read completely. They are in a hurry to become gurus. So they will read here and there something and become gurus. And they will talk about all these 4 paths to moksha. So there are so many aspects to it. It's a very, very good question, but it requires a few sessions, not few minutes.
No, thank you so much, Mama. But the thing is, even
if I had to tell you shortly, what first thing you must actually define is what is your goal? What are you looking for? Depending upon what you are looking
mental
for,
peace.
you will get the guru. If you want to pursue medical studies, you have to go to an institution which will teach you. If you are looking for, you know, something to do with yoga, then go to institution which will give you yoga, knowledge of yoga shastra. So you must be clear what you want to see. If you can't do everything in one life.
So the basic, very, very initial and very honest mental peace is what I'm looking for. And I found that this path is giving me some kind of mental peace, you know, taking to chanting or, you know, following the spiritual path, that is giving me mental peace. But then again, in that also, when there are so many conflicts and difference of opinion, then I don't know where to go for, because, you know, like I mentioned, different opinions relating to different matas. Then it comes that again, one mata says one mata says one. Okay, but who do you follow? How to do it? How to come into a conclusion where it can be, you know, acceptable? Or how do you follow a path which is acceptable for everyone and you are in, you know, in a peace of mind? That is, there's a lot of confusion. So that is, I don't know how else to put this question.
You pray to Ishvara
Huh?
to show you the way, for show you a guru who will be the right guru for you.
Mm.
In fact, you know, even in Vedanta, there are differences of views. Question is, which view are you convinced with? That is the question.
Mm.
Because ultimately, it is your conviction which matters. There is a Dvaita.
Mm.
There is a Vishishta Advaita. There is a Advaita. There are 3 different schools are there. And they all talk about Veda, Veda as Praman. But then what happens is, when you go a little deep into it, you will find many gurus, they will skip those portions of the Vedas which is not convenient to their view. Talk about Vedas as a whole. If there is something in Vedas which is not convenient for their view, then they will not teach that. So although there are so many issues involved in it, so the thing is, these are the different stages. Again, Dvaitam, Visishta Advaitam and Advaitam are 3 stages. Everybody goes through these 3 stages. And you eventually have to advise them which is the level of position. Yeah, any other question?
Thank you, Mama.
धन्यवाद महोदय हरि ओम
Hari Om.
Guruji, is it still possible to join the Tattvabodha classes of yours, please?
Tattvabodha class.
Is it still possible to join your classes, or is it already too advanced?
Well, I mean, actually, I think yesterday or today only 2 more people have joined. See, the thing is, right now I am doing probably one more class. I will be doing the introductory course, some general ideas. Because in all these classes, I also
Aparam
be taking
Janma Param Janma Vivasvataha Tato Katayo
once you have joined, next class will be next Saturday. I hold the classes on Saturday from 7 to 8. So first of all, you must 7 to 8 India time, IST. So whether it is convenient for you, you must first decide. I don't know where you stay, your time zones and all that.
UK. I stay close to Shobha's house.
Okay, so that may still be possible for you. Tattvabodha maybe because you can 7 means you will be 1:30 to 2:30. In fact, somebody only yesterday joined from UK, Sanjay Suri. He joined yesterday.
He joined. He's also our friend. All our friends are joining.
All good things happen because of Shobha and Shriram.
So he is attending. So you can also join. But what I would recommend is if you join, then send me a message. And then I will send you an email with certain details of the course and all that. Because Tattvabodha is well dedicated.
Raghu, somebody is not muted.
There are a lot of people who come to Vedanta like casual Vedanta. That's what they find the time. They will accept. Other times they will do other students. Who want to pursue eternal happiness, moksha as their pursuit, which is what moksha is about, eternal happiness, and who have who require to acquire certain qualifications like viveka, vairagya and all that. Those people only will Vedanta study. I have no problem, but maybe this may be the last opportunity to join because once you have the text, then it will become very difficult to follow. Even this also 3 or 4 videos, I think 4th or 5th class, you can watch the videos and then catch up with whatever has been taught to you. If you're interested,
Thank you.
send me a WhatsApp message.
I'll send you the request.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
any other question for the satsang?
Namaskaram, Mama.
Namaskaram.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Guruji, Rajgopal here.
Rajgopal, yeah.
I find most of the questions that arise is because that most of the people, they don't know what is moksha. Actually, people are thinking moksha is achieved only after death. So we have to tell them moksha is understanding the there is what is the permanency of our Brahman, what we are Brahman. So if they want to understand that, probably these questions may not come at a later stage. For that, you have to go for a continued study for a long time under a proper guru.
That's true. Well, because this concept, first of all, they have to be clear. First, they have to be clear in their mind what they want to achieve, in life. Because a lot of people I've seen, they are not interested in this moksha and all. They just want to do, very good health. So I want to do yoga. I want to practice yoga. So they will continue practicing yoga. That's all. And they will enjoy good health also. No problem with that.
In moksha also, they think they can achieve only after the death. That is the problem.
Huh?
Moksha, they think that it is achievable only after death.
Yeah, that is true. But that is what, that is their Purana level stories,
Yeah.
Puranas talk about going to Vaikuntha and Kailasa and all that. That is what is the problem with the Puranas. Our problem is we do not progress in life. That is why, in the Vedanta class, in Tattvabodha class, I was explaining the structure of our scriptures, it gives a grand indication how we should progress in life. Start from Itihasas and end up in Upanishads. We get stuck. We get stuck in Puranas. And as I told you, I have seen somebody who goes to Bhagavata Puranam 25 times. Very happy about going to attending Bhagavata Puranam. What have you learned? Krishna is eating butter, so beautiful it is. This is the message they get. Krishna is dancing with Gopikas. All this is what the entertainment, they want. They don't want message, real spiritual message. They don't have any idea. So they don't go beyond even Bhagavad Gita, they don't come. There's a problem. Other problem also we have got. Physically, we get stuck in Grihastha Ashrama. All of us come to Grihastha Ashrama, we get stuck in that till the end of our life. We never think of Vanaprastha Ashrama and the Sannyasa Ashrama. These are all not necessarily that you have to go to a forest or you have to take sannyasa and wear that ochre robes and all. It's all a mental condition. How do you become more and more mature spiritually, mentally? That is how you have to grow. But what happens? We are caught in this Grihastha and we don't follow the scriptures, what they say. We don't develop our mental, intellectual capacity to raise, to more mature levels. And then toward the end of our life, when our body is apakshiyate, then we have all sorts of problems. We keep cursing, oh, why God doesn't take me away. I've seen such old people praying for death. They are so much fed up with their life, they are constantly praying for death. Is it the way of living? Whereas beautiful scriptures are telling you how you should lead your life without, and when you are in old age, you must be, a complete embodiment of happiness. You must be happiness, you must reflect happiness to everybody. There's no question of any sorrow, any grief, any misery and all. You may have a lot of physical problems, but that will not affect you emotionally and intellectually. That is the path we have to take. And that's a very glorious path, but we don't have any understanding of this. And then we are all stuck in this Grihastha Ashrama. We are all stuck with Puranas, not even going to Bhagavad Gita and trying to understand the message of Bhagavad Gita. The problem, what can be done? Only few people get some interest at some stage, they realize that these are all, I should know more about it. Starts with curiosity, and curiosity is a good thing in this. Then when you realize there is some value in this, you will pursue it relentlessly. That's how it happens.
And Swami Paramatmananda used to say regularly, students are only senior citizens. Because at the younger age, nobody comes to Vedanta. They are senior citizens. He used to say,
exactly.
are all senior citizens.
Yeah. No, but not necessarily. I mean, very few are there. See, again, we have to, it's a very complicated thing. We have to connect it with vasanas also. If even as a senior citizen, you have strong vasanas for this year, and if you are not able to understand what moksha is in this life, still, as Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, next life when you get, you will start with those vasanas, and at a young age itself, like Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi and all, or for that matter Vivekananda, so many, even Swami Paramatmananda himself, you will get into this pursuit at a very young age. That will happen. So we must also look at life at not like DOB to DOD. We must look at our life as a continuum. Previous life, this life, next life. So if we are sure that we are going to have next life, which is could be a human birth, we have an opportunity to work for a glorious next life in this life. Because this will determine a lot about our future lives. Whatever we do now will determine about future lives. So these are all the teachings of our Shastras. So we must follow those teachings and do whatever we can do to make our this life as comfortable and as happy as possible.
Thank you so much, Mama.
Okay, so shall we close?
So Nanarandada, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Namaskaram, Mama. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will meet.
Thank you very much.
Hariom.
Namaste, Guruji.
Dhanyavadah.
Namaste, Guru.
Hariom.
Okay, namaste.
Namaste.